how many people are actually on the streets that don't have a place to sleep. And I mean, I was doing some camping. It was not the winter, but I can tell you that I was waking up around 6 in the morning, just freezing. It was very cold, and I was on a tent. I had some clothes to warm myself up, and there's people on the street that don't have a tent, maybe have less clothes than the ones that I was wearing at the moment. So with these, I thought, you know, my experience on the tent was a temporary experience, and I chose to be there. But there's people that are on the streets for long periods of time, and they don't have a choice. Waking up 6 in the morning, or probably even before, because in the winter it's so cold, you're likely to be waking up at 3 in the morning, maybe already freezing. So experience something like this. It's just something that most people don't know what it is. We actually don't have any way of understanding what this could mean. I don't know how long someone can actually handle to be sleeping outside on the winter, but I think it's likely that you can just pass away freezing if you're just under these circumstances for a long period of time. So, we all have problems in life, either around work or around our family issues, whatever it could be. But we don't know what this is. We actually cannot imagine what it is to be living on the streets for a long period of time with no money and no place to go. You know, at some point in my life, I had a moment in which I lost my house, and I was eventually going up to the streets. I had no place to stay, and so I was on a very tough situation. But I was lucky because I had people that today I call it my family that back me up and help me out and just allow myself to stay in their place till I was able to just take care of myself. So, in these moments, you start to think a little bit, what if things could be worse? What if I had no one to back me up there? I was going to the streets, just like so many people are today, and no one cares. You know, we can change this. I actually ran some numbers, and for us to take a lot of people off the streets, if we split it by in local terms, so if we were splitting by the people in Portugal to take the people on the streets out of there, it would cost roundly around €1. I don't know exactly the numbers of people that are with no place to be, but it would be €1 or less per person to take someone to live on an apartment for 1 year. So even if the numbers were 10 times as much and that would be just 10 euros per person per year. I think if you would be asking to people, like, would you be willing to give 10 euros per year away so that we have no people living on the streets? I think it's a no brainer to say people would give 10 euros to put everyone on a room that could just provide them way better life circumstances. You know, I think, like I said, we don't have experience around what it is to live on the street. Most people don't have. But if you start to think that in the toughest moment in your life, things could actually go to the wrong direction that it went, and you could be one person on the street, and no one would care about you. And you run the numbers and you understand that it's actually so easy for us to help them out. Why is there we have people on the street? So this is how the mission of the foundation started. I realize that it's actually so easy for us as long as we do this together. And this is in Portugal in local terms. I would say it's probably more or less the same circumstances in other countries and worldwide. So we can actually take care of people that have no place to stay if we divide by everyone. It's not a representative cost, and it can change the life to so many people that struggle in a way we can't understand. So, because we are in Christmas, I think it's time for us to actually think about this. In fact, we should be thinking about this more often. Because when we have problems, if we understand some people's circumstances, I would say even before you solve the problems, you automatically feel better. You realize you don't have problems compared to these people. So, again, I think it's a very little effort to change the life to these people. And I can tell you that for as much as you want to accomplish in your life, there's no better feeling than have an impact of doing something like this. Feeling like you care about people that are on these circumstances and you actually find means to back them up and just be someone that makes a difference.